Hello friends, how are you all? Welcome to our CSS training session. Today we will talk about a very powerful CSS rule called the important rule. This rule is beneficial only if used correctly. Let's start today's session. So what is the important rule? When you use important with the CSS property, that style overrides any other style, regardless of how specific or complex the rule is. If you apply important, it takes the highest priority. It's very simple to use this rule. Just write important after the property value. As shown here, for example, if you are selecting a paragraph and setting the color property, we add exclamatory important right before the semicolon. This ensures that the exclamatory important rule is applied to the paragraph style. Let's look at an example here. The color for a paragraph is set to blue. There is also a class named important text where to the color is set to green. Additionally, we have applied the important rule to another paragraph where the color is set to red. You will notice that even though the class important text has a defined color. Now if I remove the exclamatory important rule, the behavior changes. The green color from the important text class will be applied. However, if I change the color property inside the paragraph without applying important, it will fall back to brown. Or if all style are removed, it will default to blue. This demonstrates that important should only be used when necessary, as it overrides all other styles, including those in classes or IDs. Proper class placement and understanding of when to use important are crucial. Now the question arises, when should we use the important rule? Let's look at three situations. First, overriding line styles. Sometimes if you need to change the style forcefully, we use the important rule. Second, handling third-party libraries. If you are using a third-party library and need to override its highly specific values rules, the important rule comes in handy. For example, if you want to make any change, important can be helpful, but you have to keep it in mind that it's not a permanent solution. Let's see this through an example. Suppose we have an HTML file where inline style are used. For instance, a paragraph P has an inline style with the color set to red, and now you want to overwrite it. If you apply the color blue to the paragraph using important, the inline style red will no longer take effect. Instead, the color blue with the important rule will override it. For instance, if I have inline style in my code but want to apply a universal color to all my paragraphs without editing inline styles everywhere, I can write color blue important. In this way, the color blue will take precedence over any inline styles. Another example, let's say I have a paragraph with the color set to green using inline styles. Now I want to remove that inline style and enforce the color blue for all paragraphs. Instead of manually editing inline styles, I can define the style globally in my CSS file using color blue important. This ensures that all paragraph takes the color blue regardless of inline style. Now let us see an example of overriding a specific selector. Suppose you are using a third-party library and need to override its style. For example, if you are using a third-party library like Bootstrap, where the background color of a button is set to green and text color is white, but you want to change the background color to blue, you cannot modify the third-party code directly because it is included via URL to fix this. You can change the background color in your custom CSS. The third-party libraries might have the background color is set to green and you want to override it. For example, if you want to make the background color blue, you can do like this. You can copy the relevant style and paste it into your custom CSS. For instance, suppose the default background color is green and you want to make it red or dark red. You can write the following: background color dark red important. Now the button color will change to dark red. You can see that the custom style has overridden the third party library style. If you talk about the advantage and disadvantage, the advantage of the important rule is that it allows you to add higher specificity to your style. It is very useful for quick fixes and it makes it easy to override the styles of the third party libraries. Now let's discuss some best practices. Use important only when necessary. Keep its usage limited in scope. Avoid applying it everywhere. Always comment on why you are using important so there is no confusion in the future. So friends, this was all about the important rule, a powerful tool, but one that should be used with caution. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. Keep smiling and happy coding. Thank you.